underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
Yo.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 168. I'm your host, Greg Miller, alongside the man formerly known as the guide's guru, Colin Moriarty.
Beyond.
And the big cheese, Hillary Goldstein, editor-in-chief of IGN.com.
Colin, what are you going to be known as now?
I don't know.
Funny you should ask, Hillary. On Podcast Beyond, episode 167.
I don't know if it was actually funny.
Hilarious. We asked people what Colin's new name should be. Colin, bring people up to speed. They missed last week's episode. They were vacationing and skiing down the Alps.
Okay.
What happened?
I've written my last guide, but I'm not leaving, of course.
Yeah.
I would never leave IGN. I'm moving over to the editorial pool, so I'll be reviewing and previewing and writing editorials and things of this nature.
Never, Colin?
Never.
What if Barack Obama took over IGN?
I don't know. I
That's
guess
interesting.
that's a good question. I don't know. I guess we don't have to talk to each other. We don't have to see each other as long as I keep getting my check. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
it. That's it. So you're done with guides.
Yeah,
So we need a new
guide.
name for Colin. So we asked last week for people to submit ideas. We didn't get as many as I thought we'd get, leading me to believe it is the holiday season. We shouldn't make a knee-jerk reaction here. So we're gonna this show we're still opening submissions at beyond@ign.com for a new name for Colin, and then we'll have it open next week as well when we're back in the swing with Clements, the sad sack here to drag us down.
Colin the Chimera.
Here are the suggestions we have so far. From Jonathan, the ravishing reviewer, Colin Moriarty.
Yeah.
From Trent, the Goron guru, Colin Moriarty.
Why Goron?
Oh, they were a race of people in Zelda.
I know that, but I mean, what?
It has a G in it.
Yeah. Okay.
It keeps the same cadence
But
we had before.
you'd be the Goron? You'd be the guru of those people?
Yeah,
What?
he's the Goron of, or he's the guru of the rock people.
I mean, I love Majora's Mask as much as the next person, but
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, well, I'm just
Throw
saying
that one out.
It's out there. All right, fine, we'll cross it off the list. Sorry, Trent, you're the first elimination in the quest for Colin's new name. Next up, Colin, the Chimera Killer, Moriarty.
Yeah, that's a little too specific though.
Okay. The Esoteric Editor, Colin Moriarty. That's
Yeah.
from Nick.
That's okay. Yeah.
Arvind did the last one too, sorry. The editor formerly known as Guides Guru, Colin Moriarty, Kevin.
That one's got my mark
That's
right
so
now.
far you like that one?
I would put a check mark next to
And
that
then this one, Joe is giving you quite the promotion here. The Editorial Emperor, Colin Moriarty.
Jesus Christ.
Not too shabby.
Like Napoleon, the self-appointed emperor.
Yeah. It's a break week here at IGN. It's just us three. We've been holding on the fort, doing everything we can, keep this place running.
Doesn't seem like we need any other people.
No, I mean, come on. We got one review up,
Yeah.
a couple of features.
We sat around playing games all
Yeah, we
day.
played Dead Space nonstop, and Colin's been playing Mass Effect. And Everybody's been having fun.
Yeah. Can I have Dead Space this weekend?
No, you can't. Sorry. Well,
That's okay.
Man, Greg's only played through it twice. He can't give it up for one weekend.
a
A weekend where he's going to be having to play LittleBigPlanet 2 for review.
The problem is, both those games are platinumable, and I'm Dead Space. I can smell the platinum.
But you
Dead
could,
Space, the platinum is that close.
but the trophies aren't even live yet. You
For
could
Dead Space, they are not correct.
you could platinum them next weekend. You could give it to Colin for this weekend. He hasn't even sniffed the game yet. You and I have been playing. You've played through it twice.
Yeah.
You could. The game doesn't come out for like 4 more weeks. You
Yes.
could give it to him this weekend, and then you could play it again next weekend. yourself.
In reality, Hillary, what I'm doing is I'm looking out for Colin. If I give him Dead Space, he's got to lug home a debug. He lives far away.
Whatever. It's not a big deal.
It's a good question.
I have a good game. So I
No,
have
you're
other
just
games
you're not a nice person, Greg, and we'll just.
I've
move on.
I've been debating what to do in this. All right, don't think I don't weigh these decisions, Hillary. Don't think I don't think about this.
Colin, if I were not like 3 chapters away from finishing Dead Space, I would lend it to you, but I want to finish it this weekend.
No, I understand. That's fine. I can play it next
I
weekend.
haven't beaten it twice like some people in this room.
I can play it next weekend.
The
You do
problem is I want to get it all out of my
You're
system.
selfish.
Yeah, that's true too. I want to get it all out of my system. There's another difficulty explorer on Dead Space. I have to just play like probably another couple of hours to have all the trophies for weapons and stuff. Then I'm down to 1 trophy. Just 1 trophy I need to platinum that thing.
Are we allowed to talk about the trophies in Dead Space?
I don't know.
Okay.
Steve Papusa, or however I pronounce the last name, I can never get it right. Who's in charge of the Dead Space franchise pretty much, follows me on Twitter. And so when I'd be commenting, oh yeah, I just beat Dead Space, he would tweet back and ask me, oh, on hardcore difficulty? And I'm like, wait, do people know what hardcore difficulty is? Because I've been very guarded about what I tweet and what I say about the game because I'm under an embargo for like 3 years from now. But I Googled it, and I found a YouTube list of all the trophies. So people know there's a hardcore mode. I don't think they know what hardcore mode is, though.
Okay.
I didn't go into details on that.
We won't talk about it.
Hardcore
then.
mode is incredibly hardcore, so...
Maybe
leave it
that's
at.
something you could reveal. One day.
Oh, yeah. I
With permission from
just
the
today.
EA.
Just do it.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
That's fine.
Let
I'll
me-
go home and play really good games like Sam and Max and I don't know, Black Ops.
I don't know, Colin. I want to give it to you.
It's okay, it's
Oh,
okay.
here's the other thing.
I have Mass
Oh, we'll
Effect
get to
anyway.
that later.
No, you're just gonna come up with bullshit. Just it's Colin. He doesn't want to give it to you. It's okay.
That's all right.
Colin, you can have the game when I finish it this weekend.
Okay.
I'll give it the game to you.
Okay, thank you.
Greg
Okay,
is too selfish.
You're acting like you're coming down from the mountain. Calm down. All right. Calm down.
Coming down from the mountain.
Jeez, look at you, all high and mighty over here. I want to get some trophies. Yeah, I do.
That's fine. That's okay.
Yeah, you can't get them from any other game that you
Yeah,
have.
no, I need to play LittleBigPlanet still. I'm close to acing that. 3 levels away from acing every level in that game.
It's a cool looking game.
Let's begin the show like we
What?
have once and always will.
Did once did.
Once did and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for news. Some news. There's no news.
No. Well, yeah, the only
The
thing.
entire video game industry is shut down this week.
ESRB rated some PS1 classics that are coming. We know those.
Any good ones?
Yeah, Vagrant Story and Xenogears, a few other Square games. Arc the Lad, maybe. So no, I think that's already out.
Oh man, if you, I believe. No, never mind. Go ahead.
What?
I know I was completely wrong about something I was gonna say.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'll-
Oh, well,
Oh,
then,
good. Well, you caught yourself.
Yeah, I did.
That's
Usually we just let it go, and then somebody in
get
the
emails.
comments catches it, and you're like, shut up, kid.
that's it.
Okay. Colin,
Yes.
if I were to give up
Mhm.
Dead Space 2 this weekend,
Yeah.
I would need some kind of game to play in its place. Where could I go to find out what games have come that I could play?
You go to the official list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors.
Do-do-do-do.
Yeah, there you go. There's nothing.
No.
The store didn't even update this week, so I'm sorry.
Oh, the blog next dead too.
Yeah, Blognack's dead.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
he might be making a really special mini right now. I guess that's why the store update was so big last week. So now
Yeah,
we know.
should tide you over until the new year.
Yeah.
They should have made a big deal that it was the final update of 2010.
Yeah, they didn't even talk on the blog about anything at
Yeah.
all. So
So
sorry, kids.
you roll on into this week.
Yeah, well, there's plenty-
Something good.
Everyone's got their Christmas gifts and stuff like that. Backlog of games that they can't play. Mike Mitchell actually posted a picture some time ago of his backlog. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's ridiculous. Like all of his games like lined up that he needs to play, like unopened games. It's probably like 25 games.
Yeah, it's because he's too busy crying over the 49ers every day.
Yeah, that's true.
Sunday comes, just depresses him. He can't live. He can't play any games. He can't focus on anything. Has his second guide gone up yet?
Yeah, I think it's
Yes.
God of War, Ghost of Sparta.
It's up. It's live.
Yeah.
All right, good. There you go.
I don't know what he's writing next. There's
God of
really
War,
nothing
Ghost
right
of
now.
That brings us to topic of the week. And topic of the week, of course, is just more reader mail.
Yeah.
This is this show for you, readers. This is the final. We're saying goodbye to 2010 by saying hello to you.
Oh,
So
okay.
we have plenty.
We didn't warn you in advance that it was going to be about you. We didn't solicit extra questions.
Exactly, and that's why it's so impressive. I think the amount of questions we get at beyond@ign.com every week.
We do.
Because I didn't even this on the way to work today. I was walking. This is my walking. This is how I walk. And I was thinking,
Greg, people
we
can't
should
see
have.
that.
I was like, I know that there's no Roper Report. I know there's no games released.
This worried you.
Yes, I was like, crap. And then I got there. We had plenty of good questions.
In
Tons of good
your
questions.
mind, while you were walking to work, were you thinking, God, this is turning into an episode of TRL?
No. I knew we would never go down that dark path.
that dark path.
The old TRL.
Before you read, I would like to give a shout out to Travis Downing, a
course.
special friend on Twitter.
What do you do?
He asked me to give him a shout out.
Oh, okay.
Now, the one caveat is we'll never give anybody else a shout out. That was the
Yeah,
one shout out.
we do that here,
Because I
too.
don't want to hear a bunch of people like bitching and asking for it. He was the first person to ask. He's the only one to get it. If you ask me, I will give you a shun.
I'll give you a
Block him.
shut out.
Block him on Twitter.
Block him on Twitter, yeah.
Like
yeah.
all the spam auto responses I keep getting now on Twitter.
Your blog
Big-
post also went up.
My blog post did go up.
You're now a PS3. You're officially to public. Even last week, you went on the show here, Podcast Beyond. Said I'm switching to PS3.
Exclusive
That's
to
my
Podcast
allegiance.
Beyond.
I know. Thank you very much. We
Yeah.
appreciated that. The hits helped. And now you went on. You're official. It's official. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows. I hear that there's people getting fired right now at Microsoft.
Can't
There's
believe we let him
chaos.
get away.
The building's crumbling in on itself. It's tragic.
The writing's on the wall, Greg.
I know. It's a big one. You're the PlayStation 2011.
Yeah, 2011. That's the
Gotta
one.
think about
That's
the
the one.
years that are coming. If you missed it, Hillary now plays PS3. That's what he does. Noob in the tube. How'd your pinball challenge go?
Oh,
You're playing that Marvel pinball.
So there's the gold trophy in Marvel Pinball is basically it's like you get your own points for like every million that you score on the pinball tables is 1 point. So you have your own points, but then all of your friends, all of their points add to a team point. So basically, the more friends you have playing, like the more points that you get. And the goal is to get 5,000 team points. And I crossed that mark the other day. Last time I checked, I have 5,400 team points.
There
so
you go.
many thanks to my many
Come on.
friends.
That's what the
friends list.
PlayStation Network does. They help each other.
Yep.
out.
It's very sweet. And I thought, like, man, I must be ranked really high with all of these team points. And I was like 175 and like out of however many people own the game. And number one was something like 40,000 or something ridiculous. Where I was like, how is that possible?
Because every one of his friends plays Marvel.
Well, there's some guy who, like, I mean, my scores are like, I get like 20, 25 million on each of the tables. Somebody on one of the tables had 1.8 billion. And I was like, one, I don't even know how that's possible without cheating. But also, I don't know that I could play a pinball game that long.
Yeah, right.
Because it takes like 10 minutes to score 25 million points. Like, I could
There's
not
gotta be some
concentrate
kind
long
of,
enough.
there has to be some kind of, maybe a glitch where he's got it to the specific point where you can hit the same bumper over and over
Yeah,
again.
it could be.
I don't know. He broke something.
People used to. I mean, I remember.
But
Mega
mostly, I want him to be on my friends list so that
Of course.
my
Yeah,
team
well, you
points-
should friend him.
My team points will be 80 billion.
That would be awesome, and then you can overtake him. People glitch leaderboards, which really annoys me. Like Mega Man 9 and 10, people used to do that, where like there would be like speed runs and stuff, and people would be like 0, 0, 0. It's like, yeah, you beat the stage without playing it, so that's really cool. Yeah.
I think what's interesting about PS3 is, and I don't mean this as a slam, but I mean my friends don't play it, right? Like my people at work, like people in the industry, like quite honestly, like they don't gather around like and like share their PS3 accounts. Most people, like there's like all my 100 Xbox people are all either people who work at IGN, people who work in the industry. Like it's all 100 people that I know from working in the industry, and those are the people I always see online and stuff. PS3, like it's Greg, Pear, Colin, and Jeff Rubenstein. Those are the only
Wojnek.
those are the only people in the industry that are on my PS3, and the rest of the friends list is full, and it's all from fans and stuff. And
Now,
it's
in
really cool.
defense of the industry, it's just because obviously by nature of the beast, you have to be up on everything. So 360 was the first to hit. 360 everybody got on board with, and 360 everybody got
they
invested
had a
in.
2-year lead on having
Exactly.
a friends list.
Yeah.
So yeah.
People do play PS3. They just don't
Yeah.
do it nightly like we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it's just like it's sort of more like part of a social network for I think the industry. Like people know each other on 360 more than they do on PS3. That's just how it is. But yeah, it's kind of cool though to have a different system where there's like a lot of people in there. But I'm sorry, I don't have any friend space anymore. I have like I have a sheet now of people that like are on my save list that I will like not delete.
Yeah.
Which mostly are Marvel pinball players, but there's a few other people that I've talked to that I'm like, I'll keep him around.
That's a good plan.
But
I often delete people. Then somebody will tweet at me and like, wait a second, I bought that spot on the IGN for Haiti auction. I was like, oh crap, sorry, I already had you.
yeah, so I have that book near me, so I keep it safe. But there's like probably like 30 people that are like safe for now. But like Colin, I like your idea of getting rid of people after 10 days. But actually, so far, everybody that's on my list is super active.
Yeah, that's the beauty is like I had to work up to that point because I was I had some people like yesterday when I was watching Netflix. We should talk about what I was watching on Netflix, by the way. At some point, it was really funny and really nerdy.
Was it Gay to
Conversational
Z?
podcast. Go right now.
No, it was Dark On. Did you see?
Dark On?
Yeah, Dark On. It's a documentary about these guys in Maryland that play like live action role playing. There's like a few thousand of them. And
Is it good?
they meet every other weekend. Dude, it is so nerdy. I have never I was telling my girlfriend on the phone like no matter how nerdy I get, yeah, I like trophies and I'm really into Star Wars and stuff like that or whatever it used to be and G.I. Joe, whatever. Those guys make me feel like I'm okay, like I'm not gonna get like they literally go into like they go to these campgrounds and these woods and stuff. They get together. They all have their own countries on like this made up map, and they like fight with each other in like fields with like they have weapons and weapon classes
Oh,
and
so
armor
they do
classes.
like live action?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's straight up
LARPing. They're
like,
LARPing.
and it's like it's the honor system. So like they they'll beat the shit out of each other, and if the guy has like a black sword, then it means like you can get hit twice if you have chainmail on or whatever. And then so if you get hit twice, then you have to fall on the ground. And people have like spells and missile attacks and stuff like that. And they during the while they're all camping around in their little plots, they deal with each other like with emissaries and stuff like as they're role playing. Like no one breaks so they talk about their country and their people.
I think I could be down with this if that it also involved sex.
Well, they were talking about how they have like there was a real life couple that played the game and they're in the same country, but they have like I guess they're not in a relationship in the game. Like their characters aren't in a relationship. And
That makes sense.
So like they can pursue. And a guy was saying like his wife gets jealous because he has like an in-game relationship with this girl.
This is like that.
I can't wait. I gotta watch this.
Yeah,
tonight.
it's all Darkon, Darkon.
That sounds like that last episode of G.I. Joe where the Baroness and Cobra Commander did that play. And even and Destro was in it, but even though Destro and the Baroness were kind of together, it's like in the play she was with Cobra Commander, and Destro got really jealous. Yeah,
it's exactly like that. That might have been the inspiration for it.
That's what
actually.
started it all.
But it's oh my god, it's so everyone should watch that. It's so all I kept saying like every 10 or 15 minutes was like this is so
Wait, is it worse?
nerdy.
Is it worse than the Trekkies movie?
I don't know if I saw.
Trekkies was good.
I didn't see Trekkies, no. I something
But
tells me
see,
it's 10 times worse
Even
than
that
Trekkies.
now is like, we always talk about how even to an extent there's that stigma of gaming, right? Of being the D&D player down in your basement and being filthy and fat, and like that's what.
Not like us.
Yeah, not like us. We're in a lighted office, filthy and fat. But I think LARPing still totally has that stigma, whereas like being a Trekkie,
I can't understand why.
Yeah, is more.
I mean, oh my
I
god.
saw it as role models. That's where I learned about it more than anything.
There's a difference though between LARPing and what these guys are doing. These guys.
I learned about it because I know some people who LARP.
I don't think I know anyone that does it, but I want to know some of these. These people go for 3 days every 2 weeks and don't break character. It's insane. I've never seen anything like it. They fight with each other. They have rules, and like there's like a governing board. They like on the grid, like with their map, they get money for like how much land they own every week, and then they trade with each other and stuff like that. And like they buy.
That's
they
friggin' hardcore.
They like there's like so they were fighting this battle. These two kingdoms were fighting this battle with each other, and they were trying to hire these mercenaries, these like dark elf mercenaries, and they were paying them fake gold. And like they were the mercenaries like backstabbed one group and went with the other group, and like but like afterwards like they're just totally normal people. Like or some of them aren't normal. So I just stumbled across it and it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. I was literally saying out loud like this is so fucking nerdy. Like every 10 or 15 minutes.
All by yourself.
Yeah,
right?
I was just sitting like laying on my bed. So it was
Bromley's pounding on the wall, telling you to be quiet.
Colin, whenever I'm online and I see you watching Netflix, I'm always thinking to myself, what could Colin be watching?
What historical documentary is he watching?
it sucks because I'm like burning through all the documentaries and it's like it's
They
slim
need to add
pickings.
more. Yeah.
Whatever.
Colin, I've decided I'm going to give you Dead Space this weekend. You've earned it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You don't have to do that though. I understand if you want to play it.
First off, I still have not played Grubins on Ice for Cosmic Quest, which
yeah,
I
I
feel
gotta
bad
do that.
about
Yeah,
since
yeah,
I love
yeah.
that game. And I'm in the same vein of being close on Dead Space. If I commit to LittleBigPlanet, I can knock out some of the harder stuff there too.
Okay, that's fair. Well, thank you. I'll finish it and give it back to you on Monday.
No, you're fine. Don't worry. You're fine. Shh. Let's get to some reader mail. Keep the conversational podcast showing. Remember, if you want to be part of the show, beyond@ign.com, just like Alex did. I have a 3-part question for all of you to answer. I'll go first since I had time to think this out. You can go after it. What were each of your favorite Christmas gifts? Number 1, from a non-IGN friend or family member. Number 2, from readers. Number 3, from fellow IGN editors. For number 1, oh crap, that doesn't work. Damn.
Wait,
I've already forgotten all 3 parts of the question.
Number 1 was from non-IGN friends or family.
Why don't we each do the part 1 first, and then we'll do part... Okay.
Non-IGN friends or family.
Non-IGN...
I'm stumped because I was going to say the Weezer ticket Steimer got me, who's my girlfriend, but I also work with her. So my mom got me a Keurig coffee holder for my pods. So I have a carousel for my coffee pods. I was excited about that.
That's nice.
Oh, and Poe he shipped me Portillo's hot
I
dogs.
said 1.
I'm changing away from
This
the
is
pods.
so. This is
I'm
this
going
year.
with Poe.
This is this year.
Yes, Poe
Oh,
gave me.
is it just this year?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, because it's right after Christmas. He knows this.
I just assumed you meant of all time.
No, that's silly. This year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, Poe sent me hot dogs this year from Portillo's. There you go. Hillary.
I don't know. Go ahead, Colin.
I didn't really get. My dad sent me a check.
Yeah, I got a lot of money too. I needed the money. That's what I needed.
Yeah, I mean, my in-laws gave me like $300 in bills. That was pretty good.
But they gave you $300 for bills.
They give you like PG&E bills, like $300.
No, like I mean, like they didn't give me like
pay these.
Some check. They just gave me like 3 $100 bills.
Oh, okay.
It's like what my
nice.
grandparents used to do.
Good.
That was the best. When my grandpa, I would walk in, my grandpa would be like, "Here's $50. Don't tell anyone." And then I'd run around and be like, "Mom, look at
All right, from readers. This one I have 2 shout-outs for. Andrew Goldfarb sent me Walking Dead plushie I have in my desk now.
Nice.
I love that very much. The head detaches. And then Josh Hamill sent me Hot Wheels Ecto 1 to complement my 1989 Ecto 2.
Nice.
I didn't get anything
Ecto
from
1.
readers, so fuck all of you.
Oh.
Oh wait, no, we did. Actually, I'll wait until Clemens is back because Clemens and I got something from a reader, but that I showed you, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'll wait till Clemens is here.
I'm gonna drink it all just to get you in trouble.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
And then fellow IGN editors. Did any of us exchange gifts? I have one. Hillary bought me lunch the other day. It was very
Oh
nice.
yeah, Hillary did buy us all lunch. Yeah.
I don't think that was a Christmas gift. but
Well,
I'm counting it.
yeah, that is a nice gift. Thank
Okay, deal with it.
nice.
Hillary, I'll have you know, I thought about buying you a Christmas gift.
No, you shouldn't. I gave you a Christmas gift one year, and you actually told me afterwards, please don't buy me any gifts.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Well, I think I said that we have to get on the same page if we're taking our friendship to this level.
I gave you something a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then I think the next year you said, I'd appreciate it if you don't give me anything for Christmas.
I gave
really
no
did.
explanation.
No, you really did.
What was my
I was too busy
explanation?
crying. I don't know.
That's bullshit.
You're a jerk. You don't like me.
No, that is not true. If anything, I said we have to get on the same page because me and Poe had to have a conversation one year. Are we friends enough to get each other gifts? Yes. All right. From here on out, we're getting each other gifts, and it was settled. Because otherwise, it's awkward, right?
Yeah,
If I just showed up one day and gave Colin a gift, he'd be like, "Ah, cool."
Yeah, I don't know. Like, honestly, like, I'm not a huge gift giver, and I don't expect anything from anyone either. Like on my birthday.
Conan,
Like,
I'd like to say that the best gift you and I received, I would like to say it's a gift for both of us, is that we got a table set up in the editorial pool area, and we got Access and Allies, which we have set up, and we're going to annoy everybody by playing for the next 4 months.
You're just gonna hear the dice roll, the 6-sided die roll.
You should have it
roll
like
around.
you should do a morning meeting kind of thing. So you hear the ding and you get up and just go to the table. You just play there.
What we should do is on Monday when everyone comes back, we should set Access and Allies up in the conference room before everyone gets there, and then like when everyone gets there, we'd be like, so we really just wanted your opinion on like the status of the conflict right now. The Soviet Union's really pinched right now in the east, and Japan kind of hasn't started moving around yet. So we were just kind of curious what you guys think the next move should be.
I like the idea of getting people gifts just like whenever, you know?
Yeah.
Like you see something, you're like, oh, that's cool. Like when I was in Hawaii, I almost got an iPhone case for Greg because it was the coolest iPhone case ever. It was a Superman symbol, but it was like all jeweled up and stuff like that. It was like super awesome. And then I asked the guy how much it cost, and I was like, well, I don't like Greg that much.
Yeah, I understand.
It was like $80 or something like that. And I was like, And then it was a good thing because I think you bought like an iPhone for like.
Yeah, I bought the iPhone the next day.
We should
do really bad.
We should just do maybe next year like an editorial Secret Santa or something like that.
Oh yeah,
White elephant.
I like that idea.
Yes.
Okay.
And that would be cool. Like
That's a really good idea.
we even do it in my family. Like we do. I can't even remember the name of it. Where we all buy. We've only been doing it for like 5 or 6 years because there's so many friggin' people in my family now with like nephews and nieces and grandkids and
Stupid kids.
And so everyone buys a gift. We have like a $50 maximum or whatever, and you just buy something like whatever it is, and then we put it all in the middle of the room. And we hand around like a Yankee hat with numbers ripped up one through whatever 17 or however many, and then you pick a number, and the people you go in order and you pick a random gift from the pile,
Nice.
and then you open it, and then you put the numbers back in the hat. You pick the numbers again, and then you can start stealing people's gifts,
yeah.
or whatever. I can't.
I'm only aware. That's White Elephant, is it? I only know about it from The Office when I'd never heard of this stealing gifts or whatever.
Isn't it called like Pollyanna or something?
Like
or,
again, like I've done like traditional White Elephant where it's just like there's some where people are like, like Secret Santa is I think more common where it's like you get a person. You're randomly draw a person's name and you're giving them you're shopping for their gift or whatever, and they don't know who's gonna give them the gift or whatever it is. Like that's more common. But then like yours is like everybody just buys a gift. It's like to a certain amount. There's like rules like it can only be like $25 or whatever it is. It has to be wrapped and all that stuff. And then yeah, you kind of like can steal other people's gifts.
Right.
But I think it's cooler to be able to steal other people's gifts unwrapped,
Yeah,
so that
I
somebody
like
can
that
pick
idea.
something
A
up.
big one.
They can listen to it. They shake it up or whatever it is, and then you could be like, because then you can fake people out. Like you can have this giant box, but inside is like kind of like this little something dumb. You know, I think that could be kind of fun.
Yeah, like I just was laughing. Like my uncle Mike gets something really funny every year, and he got a stuffed squirrel head mounted on like a piece of wood with like a Fidel Castro hat and a cigarette hanging out of it. And so like it goes back. So it's like a tradition now to put it back in, and soone gets it every year, and then
That's
they hang
really
it up in their
funny.
house. And also my dad loves getting his gift back if he can, so he can return it and get his money back, which is the funniest thing. Like last year he put binoculars in, and then he stole them from my sister, and he's like, I still have the receipt. I'll just bring them back. It's like, that's awesome.
Your dad's cool. Friend of the show, Enzo De Gregorio, writes in and says, as we're almost done with the year, I wanted to ask you, what was your underdog game of 2010, i.e. the game that you enjoyed but felt was heavily underrated? What do you got for me, Colin?
These are tough questions.
Heavily underrated by like I don't know.
What I'll go first again since I
Okay.
read them. I'm going Mod Nation Racers. Load times were long, and not many people in the office played it. Nobody in the office really got into it like I did. And then even online, like with kids on PSN and just PlayStation fans in general, it was kind of, either you loved it or you're like, no, that's not for me. Load times are too long, and I thought that was heartbreaking.
I'm gonna say it's hard to. It's easy to forget that this game even came out this year because it was the first game that came out in 2010. Darksiders.
Oh yeah.
I think just in general, I think like you haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, but I think that game's actually really fun. Like it's a really solid game. It's not like the game that changes everything that should win a bunch of awards, but like that's a game that I think if you enjoy gaming, you should pick up and play. It's kind of takes a little bit from a lot of different games, but I thought it was really enjoyable.
Right. I think I agree. I think that I played a few hours of that game, and I've been meaning to get back to it. It's really it rubbed me the right way. It was really cool. Just too many games coming out. Yeah, well, I know everyone likes to bust Damon's balls on the boards, or whatever. But the general consensus with Castlevania: Lords of Shadow, which was out, it was like maybe a 7 or an 8, pretty much everywhere on the internet. I think that game is one of the best games of the year, better than God of War 3 easily, and I think that was probably like the underrated game for me this year.
Funny, I knew that Castlevania would somehow come out of your mouth at some point today. Colin, think of a question right now.
Yeah.
That people could answer. Send an email answer to beyond@ign.com to win a very special prize. The special prize comes from Jacob Edelberg. I was so focused on the last name, I screwed up the front. Jacob. Team Jacob. That's not hard. He says, Beyond, I'll keep this quick. I won a limited edition copy of Castlevania Lords of Shadows that I would like to give away on Beyond. Whatever you want to do is cool with me. So you have to come up with a question. Have the readers send in the beyond@ign.com answer. We will pick one at random. We will give him this prize that Jacob is sending to me that I can mail out then just to make sure it gets there and nobody's, address is shared in the wrong place because that'd be bad. Also, Jacob writes in, he's the guy who laughed really hard at the Washington Tacoma robot jingle for the States. And when he tweeted that line, and I retweeted him, and then once that went up, the Tacoma News started following Jacob.
That's funny.
What's the question, Colin? What can readers send in an answer for and win this?
It should be something nerdy about Castlevania, right?
Sure. Send in your address when you send it in, too. That way I'm not going to say I picked a winner. I'm just going to send it at random. So maybe you get it at your house, and you go, oh, I won.
All right. In Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse on NES, the first stage takes place in a village. What is the name of it? That's going to be the question.
There you go. Send your answer to beyond@ign.com along with your address. We'll get you something. Maybe. Probably not.
No.
Maybe. You said we've been having hard questions. I got a good easy one here for you. This is Brandon Rosa. Hi, Greg and company. I'm Brandon Rosa, and I'm a junior in high school. I'm looking to sell my Xbox and join the infamy of the year of PlayStation 3 for 2011. Can you private chat with one of your friends if you're both playing different games? No, Brandon, you cannot.
Who cares?
This is called
Jesus
cross-game
Christ, I'm
chats.
sick of hearing about this.
Everybody's been yelling for it for
God
quite some
almighty.
time, and it is not something that's coming anytime soon, if at all. I doubt it's coming at all.
You know what? If you want cross-game chat, stick with the Xbox. Play your exclusive game next year, and cross. Pay $6 to chat with your friends. It'll be a lot of fun. If you want to,
He's got a point, though. It would be nice to be able to chat with other people.
what you can do is you can pause your game, go to the cross media bar, select your friend from the list, send him a message, go back to your game, play, wait for the thing to pop up. When he messages you back,
No, that's
you're right
horseshit.
back.
No, they should add it.
Hillary's playing Marvel Pinball all the time, and I'm grinding for LittleBigPlanet stuff. We should be able to talk. That's not a bad idea.
Why? Why does everyone want to talk? When I'm playing a game, I don't want to talk to
I'm
anyone.
not saying I always want to do it.
Well, we're not saying that you have to do it, Colin.
If there's trophies attached to it,
there are
cross-game
other-
chat for 5 hours.
There are other people who might actually enjoy being able to talk. Because here's the thing, right? Is that if, for example, Greg was playing LittleBigPlanet 2 and I was playing Marvel Pinball, and Greg was like, I'd like to. Hillary said that he wanted to play LittleBigPlanet 2 with me, so he hits me up on chat, and I'm like, well, I'm in the middle of this pinball game. So let me finish it. And so he's playing LittleBigPlanet 2. I'm playing Marvel Pinball. We're gonna meet up, but we're talking in the meantime, like staying connected. Because what happens normally is that if we're not talking to each other, then he might eventually
What's
go like,
going on?
he's
Yeah.
never gonna finish this pinball game. I'm gonna log off. And then I finish my pinball game, and I'm like, whoa, what happened to Greg? And
So I don't have to do this.
I'm saying like it's a nice way that you can connect people who are playing different games to be able to go like, hey, why don't we all play together? And because you might be in the middle of something in another game and you want to talk for a little bit, and then or maybe you're, one of the things I always liked is being able to talk to a couple like we're all like, hey, we're all gonna play Call of Duty tonight, but we're waiting for everybody to show up. So we're all playing different games, talking to each other, and like as we're waiting, like more people are added to the party chat, so that once everybody's in, then we all know to quit our games and go into Call of Duty. But we don't have to just be sitting in Call of Duty, waiting and waiting and waiting for an hour until everybody shows up. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I understand
I'm
the
saying
point of
other
it. It's
people
just,
have friends, Colin. Other people have friends.
No, I have friends. I'm just saying, like, what bothers me, I guess, the most is that there are things that are missing from PlayStation Network that are much more important. I
Like
think.
what?
I don't know. Like, what about, like, everyone's complaining about cross-game chat. What about, like, fixing connection speeds? What about download speeds? What about, like, making things work properly instead of, like, adding more features? I don't think the network works properly as it is. So, like, why are we... I want to fix those fundamentals first. Why is it taking me 8 years to download this game, on a connection, where on an Xbox it would take, I know I watch Bromley download things on Xbox. It takes, it's fine. Yeah. So like that's just confusing to me. Like when PlayStation Plus came out, everyone was complaining like, "Where's cross-game chat?" It's like they're giving you free games every month. So why don't we just take it for what it is? I don't know. There are bigger things that need to be on PlayStation Network before cross-game chat. IMO.
So there's your answer. No cross game.
I'm telling you, it's not going to happen.
Merry Christmas.
It's not going to happen anytime soon.
I got a pair of Dead Space 2 questions here. First up is Kyle. He says, "Hey Beyond Crew, Kyle Dunn here from Australia. Just a quick question. Any idea why the Dead Space 2 PS3 Collector's Edition gets gypped out of the replica plasma cutter? Barely the beginning of the year, and the PS3 gets the short end of the stick already."
Oh, patience.
Kyle, I don't think you understand what you're saying, but maybe it's different in Australia. In America, every copy of, if you just bought Dead Space and all you bought was the disc, you're buying the Dead Space 2 limited edition. The only version available for PS3, strictly out of a box or whatever, you know what I mean, on the shelf, that's Dead Space 2, is limited edition, just the disc. Because every copy of the PS3 version comes with Dead Space Extraction on the disc as well. So what you're doing there is, no matter what, you could never just buy Dead Space 2. You have to buy Dead Space 2 limited edition on PS3, whereas Xbox
Doesn't
is Dead
cost
Space
extra.
2. Correct.
EA has done this before, where the
Medal of Honor,
release,
right?
the early release is like the limited edition, and then it's like later on when they have to print more or whatever, then it's just regular and you lose the stuff.
Yeah.
So it's basically rewarding people who buy the game.
Is that going to happen with Extraction, you think? I think Extraction would be there the rest of the way, wouldn't it?
Oh,
All right, whatever.
maybe.
So, anyways, that's
Why would they call it limited edition if it was unlimited?
because it's limited to the PS3.
Oh,
No, that's dumb.
It's limited in that they're only making 4 million of them.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you don't
They will continue printing them until they stop making money.
I think if they're making 4 million PS3 copies of Dead Space 2, they might be putting some in the landfill.
yeah,
So now
they're going to join the Atari cartridges.
here's where the confusion gets even worse for him, probably. So you were probably looking at limited edition, I'm guessing, and not seeing the plasma cutter. You should have been looking at collector's edition, which is the one that comes boxed with all the gear and gadgets in the plasma cutter replica. There is a replica one, at least in America, coming to the PS3. That's the collector's edition.
But
limited
replica-
edition is just the disc.
Replica, it doesn't actually work?
Correct.
Why would I want that?
I know, right? I think
That'd be
it's-
cool to
I
have
think
a real
it's smaller,
plasma cutter.
too. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Shoot like 3 nails.
Yeah, props to the Black Ops, like, whatever, I don't remember what it was called, the collector's edition that came with the little remote control car.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. An
like it?
actual functional, like, rather than, like, here's a fake gun or...
Batarang.
So, yeah, battering. Like, here's, like, you could actually play with this. Like, you could buy that and then play Call of Duty and give your kid,
Sure.
go
Hey,
play with this little car. Yeah.
go play with
Get
this.
out of my way, kid.
Get out of here. I'm
What about the
busy.
Black Ops Jeep? Keep seeing commercials for that. You see that?
That came with the super limited collection edition, I think.
What was the really awful one when Fallout 3 came out? That Pit Boy that it came with.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the worst.
Well, that's the
But
worst.
it came with the lunch pail, too. And the lunch pail was pretty good.
It was the worst because it was like this big and wouldn't wrap around your arms, so
Yeah.
you'd have to be like a super mutant to wear it. And everyone knows super mutants don't wear Pit Boys. Come on.
Joey writes in, I have some quick questions. Does Dead Space 2 for the PS3 come with Extraction, or is it a special edition of the game?
Just
Comes
answer.
with Extraction. Well, he didn't know that. And then he says, do you need PlayStation Move to play Extraction? No. It's recommended because that's what the Wii use, but you can use DualShock as well. So there you go. Thanks, Joey. Now we get crazy.
Do you get anything for playing Extraction before you play Dead Space 2?
No, just trophies.
Okay.
But it also, according to, well, maybe that was just a pre-order. No, if you want something special, you got to play Ignition, which you would have gotten if you got a code for if you pre-order. You can buy it off the store, and then you get the hacker suit and the contact beam for free. So, recommended, I guess. It's $5 if you want that stuff. I don't know. I
It's
said
terrible.
recommended. Yeah, the game's not good, and the suits are cool though.
What,
Alright.
Ignition's not good or Extraction's not good?
What is the hacker
Ignition.
suit?
Extraction was great according to.
What does the
our-
hacker suit provide you, Greg? Since you used it,
It can I say? You think?
I don't know.
Do you think anybody cares really?
Say it. We'll
It
see what
shaves off. We already know that there's hacks you have to do in the game, and like they're usually like you have to do 3 things to open a door.
Yeah.
You'd only have to do 2.
Okay.
So, it
So I'm gonna
shaves
say
off.
right now, if I'll spoil this. If you're concerned that you're going to need this, as somebody who does not have a hacker suit, you'll never need to use it. It's not gonna hurt you.
It's
It is-
possible.
It is very easy to get. I've never had a problem.
I've never failed either.
I've never failed on with all three.
And I've done the hardest difficulty outside of hardcore
Yeah.
mode. But if I could see possibly using it at the very end of the game on hardcore mode. That would be the only time I think
Spoilers.
I might want some extra time. Spoilers. There's a hack at the end of the game somewhere, or around the end of the game. All right, whatever. Marco writes in, "What's up, Greg, Colin, Hillary? Just like you, I love earning trophies and achievements too. In fact, I bought a PlayStation Eye camera just to earn the platinum for Burnout Paradise. So what is the most desperate thing you've done for a trophy?"
Played Hannah Montana.
That was not desperate at all.
That was pretty.
We were in that
desperate.
Trophy Horror War. We did a bunch of stuff. However, I think this is
Oh,
interest-
Leisure Suit Larry actually was probably worse than it. Sorry.
I'm at a breaking point right now. I'm pretty sure this weekend or sometime soon. I want to get it before DC Universe Online. I'm thinking about buying Megamind for the PS3 finally, breaking down and buying that. It's like a platinum you get in 2 hours.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I think I want to do that. Hillary, have you done anything yet for trophies or achievements, I guess, even?
No. My stance remains that I will not do anything stupid that I wouldn't normally want to.
But
do
for a
in the
while,
game.
you did care about achievements, didn't you?
No, I liked getting achievements, but I've never played a game that I wouldn't play normally.
Gotcha.
Like so, yeah.
So you didn't
I
play
never
Ice
I
Age
never
3?
played whatever Avatar, to get you can get that 1,000 achievement points
Oh,
in
right.
5 minutes or whatever.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Never played that.
Wasn't it Peter
Yeah.
Jackson's King Kong that really early?
Yeah, I played that, but I actually thought that game looked interesting. I mean, you get 1,000 points just for playing through
Right.
the game because nobody knew how to do achievements back then. But I mean, it was also one of 10 launch games, so I played all of
Yeah,
them.
most of them people played all of them. Yeah. All right. Josh Willie writes in. Similar question here about these trophies.
Wait, can I say my favorite thing so there are times where if I think it's cool, and it interests me, I will do it. So I thought that the Orange Box achievements were really well done, and they had really cool stuff. Because if you've played Half-Life 2 before, which I have, playing again, it was cool to get to parts where they're only use the grav gun to get through the Ravenwood or whatever it's called section of the game. So you're just basically picking up hacksaws and killing everybody and never using your gun. That was cool. It was cool to just experience the game in a slightly different way.
Right.
Since
That's
I've
why I
already
like
played
them.
through it
That's
before.
what I dig about trophies and achievements is that they make
But
you.
you're playing shit like Megamind.
No,
That's not cool.
Yeah. I'm sorry. There's spectrums, right?
Right.
Obviously, yes. Me buying Megamind or playing Hannah Montana is that this is the bad things. But on the other side, Dead Space, I enjoy just using plasma cutters, right, and then having one other weapon. So I never, if I wasn't reviewing the game and there were no trophies, I would never try any of the other weapons because I know what I like and I want to stick with those.
Yeah,
weapons.
and I'll agree. When I go and play Dead Space a second time, I only use 2 weapons.
Yeah.
When I play Dead Space a second time, I know that I need to upgrade fully 2 other weapons to get the trophy. So that doesn't bother me to do that. It's not out of my way. I'll say for me, the best trophies that I've seen are Need for Speed Hot Pursuit because it's designed in a way that there's nothing bizarre that you have to do to get the platinum. There's no thing where you're God, I have to just grind or do something stupid.
Yeah.
It's basically, first of all, to me, it's the perfect set is about 60% of the achievements should be you just play through the game, you get about 60% of all the trophies.
Yeah.
And then it's the next 20% is kind of you really obsessively play through the game. So that's things collect all of, the audio logs or whatever in a game or anything like that where it's you kind of really, really went through it. And then the last 20% should be you've played this game multiple times, you've played it on the hard modes, sort of the super obsessive kind of one. But it's the things where it's making you do stuff that's annoying sucks. But Hot Pursuit does it in a way where it's you have that if you play through both sets of the career mode, you get most of the trophies that way.
Yeah.
Then there's a few trophies that are kind of fun things that are play do this with this kind of car, but they're never hard things to do with the car. It's always just stuff beat this race using this car or take a picture drive a Corvette in the rain, and it's they always have funny names Vet in the Wet, stuff like that. So none of them are hard, and then it's the golds are to get as a racer to get all gold medals, which that makes sense. It's a completionist thing, and then to get all the accommodations or whatever it's called as a cop.
Yeah.
And those are the 2 goals, and then you get platinum. It's not necessarily easy to get gold and everything, but I mean it's it basically thoroughly playing through the game will get you the platinum. To me, that's
I like
the way
games
it
like
should be.
that. I don't like things that are insane and have to do what was the Resistance one?
Oh, you have to get 10,000 kills online or
Jeez,
whatever.
man, come on.
That
you know
takes
what I mean?
forever.
Yeah, I'm DC Universe. I think is another good one. I'm gonna have to have 6 characters and get them all to level 30, which isn't that bad. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to see their stories anyways, and this doesn't involve me having to find every clue, looking at a guide to figure out where I have to go to. You know what I mean? Like
I think Treyarch does interesting trophies too because World at War and Black Ops have pretty similar ones where you have to you don't get any trophies basically if you don't play the game on veteran, which I think is really cool. Like the completion trophies, and then like each stage has like something you have to do, like kill Castro with one bullet, or like little things like that, which I think are cool. So I like the way they do them as well.
The worst ever, by the way, is Final Fantasy 11, which was there were like 4 classes I think, and you had to get to level 60, like max out the class for each one. But to do that took like something like 200 hours of gameplay. Yeah. So you had to play like 800 hours of the game to actually get all the achievements.
I think White Knight Chronicles was like that too, and I know someone that has the plat in White Knight Chronicles because Clemens played that entire game, got 2 bronze trophies. I played the game for like 30 hours and I got 1 trophy.
See, that goes against my rule. Like you finish the game, you should have 60% of the trophy.
Yeah, it was like insane, and it was like you have to kill all these enemies and play online and this. That's the one thing I don't like is online trophies, unless it's a game like Mag or something like that. Like I do not like them.
That's why I like Modern Warfare. The first Modern Warfare like set the precedent very well, where it's like, we're giving you rewards in multiplayer that are like its own sort of like built into multiplayer's own sort of set of trophies, and so all the trophies themselves are going to be built into single player only. Like to me, that's the way to go.
Uncharted did it too. It was play a co-op match, play a head-to-head match, done. And now we'll do add-on content eventually, but
that's what I like also about Need for Speed has a few online ones, and the online ones are play 10 online games as a cop, play 10 online games as a racer. You don't have to win the games. You just have to play. Basically, you just have to play some online. You don't like it's not a condition where it's like. One of the worst ones ever was the first set of achievements was Project Gotham Racing 3 because nobody knew how this stuff was going to work, right? Yeah. So their achievement was get on Project Racing TV, which meant you had to be top 10 in the world. And so basically, it was almost impossible to ever earn that achievement, especially once the game went out and it sold over 1 million copies. Like to be in the top 10 in the entire world, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's stupid. I also like the viral trophies that they do.
Those are cool.
Kill a Rockstar in Red Dead, and I think they did it in Grand Theft Auto and Borderlands. They did that, like where like one person starts with the trophy, and then it like virally spreads like as people play with them. I think that's a cool idea too.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of trophies, Josh Willie writes in, I am 2 trophies away from getting my first and very tough platinum for Burnout Paradise. Both require a webcam. It takes about 5 minutes to get these last 2, but the only webcam I have is too old for the PlayStation 3 to recognize.
No!
Can the Beyond powers that be work their magic and help me find a PS3 compatible webcam? Maybe even borrow yours and ship it back. It's driving me crazy to be so close to my platinum, and requiring a webcam to get one is just a bullshit move. Josh, I feel for you, and will lend you my PlayStation Eye.
I was gonna say if he wants to buy a Move at some point, he just can go buy
the interesting thing. He says in his email, that he'll ship it back or whatever if we can lend him one. I'll lend you my personal one. I believe in humanity here that you'll send it back.
You believe
you're not
in all of
smash
humanity?
it. I do. I believe in the good in all mankind.
Wow.
So I'm sending it back. But the thing to think about is when you ship it back to me, even parcel post, you're looking at like what $5-10 maybe. I don't know for a box. At that point, I mean, a PlayStation 9 costs $35. 25, 30, I don't know. You might want to think about that. How much you want to pay for shipping versus if you just want to buy your own eye, because there's other games that require stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna agree. I don't think that if it's like iPad, obviously makes sense. But like I think just a regular game, like I get it, like kind of trying to encourage people to use it, but I think it's unfair to say like you have to buy this extra piece of equipment that has nothing to do with the game in order to earn this stuff.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah, it is lame. Yeah, I would say like just how are you gonna play TV Superstars if you don't have the PlayStation Eye?
Kung Fu Live.
Yeah, Kung Fu Live. Oh my
God. Joe Tyndall writes in, Hillary, I think you might have something to say about this.
He wrote that in?
No. Beyond. Do you think there's a chance we could get a Move compatible Shadow of the Colossus? Hold the trigger to grab onto the fur, use the nav controller to move up and down and across, and then raise the move controller. Thank you. No, we don't need to add move controls to Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, no.
One of like the most universally praised games. Let's tack on a motion control scheme.
Oh,
Dear Lord.
Man.
Come on.
No, please,
God,
no.
Joe Tyndall, I'm not
God bless you, Joe, but that was an awful question. I hope it was a joke.
Yeah, let's have a palate cleanser here. Brendan Montgomery writes in, I finally got my Beyond t-shirt and I thought I'd send in a picture. He did. It's already up on the wall now.
Booyah.
The thing is, about 2 days before you announced that the official Podcast Beyond t-shirt would once again be sold, I decided to design my own. Feel free to flame me for it. I thought about going outside and trying to look like a hobo for the shirt, but it's just too damn cold. Colin, why don't you describe the shirt Brendan's wearing here? This is your pitch for the shirt, I believe.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was like so. I had it's similar to what I wanted. I had, if people can picture like if you're like kind of NASA nerds, whatever, any of you.
Just remember Apollo 13. They do a bunch of close-ups on
Right.
patches.
They have like for the Gemini missions and Apollo missions and etc. They had and Skylab and all those. They have patches with like some art. So like it would be like Luna or whatever, and then they'd have like the names of the astronauts around the outside of it, like the circumference of it. So he did something similar with Beyond. It looks like with our names in the it's the logo. It looks somewhat like the regular shirt, except for it has a black Beyond text instead of a white one. But then he has the names around it, which was kind of what I originally wanted to do because I thought it would have been funny.
Yeah.
Like if we can make like an old school patch, maybe we can still do that at some point.
Yeah, I think not as a shirt, but like as a patch. That'd be pretty. We should bring patches back.
Yeah,
should.
I love patches.
I know you do.
Like in the '90s, it was awesome. Remember, you had your backpack, and you had I had like
all over
I had my 311 patch on my backpack. I thought that was so cool.
We should sell Beyond book covers. Kids in college.
for books for like when you're in high school.
I remember you used to like cover them with just like the
Cardboard
But-
or card, not
But
card.
it should just say
Paper bags.
It should be written out Beyond on it, and then it should just have song lyrics all over it. Because that's what I always did on all of my book covers.
Oh, nice, yeah.
I was
Do you like
always
the
brown-
heart with the initials in it?
The brown paper. Yeah.
yeah. I was always just mystified. It's like why you used to get in trouble. Like you had your book on. It's like why isn't this book wrapped? It's like this book is 25 years old and like half the pages are missing. Why
Well, I
am
always
I
loved it too, but it was like the books always had these beautifully pristine covers, and then you'd open the inside,
yeah,
and just be
destroyed.
just ripped all over the place, and
It was
everything.
awful.
Inside, whatever, but
Also,
Doesn't
joining
make
the
any
wall of Beyond shirts this week is Jared Bernal. He sent in his official Podcast Beyond shirt. Remember, if you want the official Podcast Beyond shirt, it goes up on Cafe Press every so often until the link gets recycled and becomes whatever shirt somebody else is selling. But maybe one day soon there'll be an easy way to buy that. Hint, hint. Got another easy question for you here, Hillary. Andrew Hardy writes and says, "Hey Greg, do you know when the review of Little Big Planet 2 will be up Beyond?" Hillary, when's the review up?
wait, why wouldn't you answer this?
I like putting you on the spot.
It's on the 4th at 9 a.m.
There you go. Yeah, Tuesday, January 4th, next week, next Tuesday. By the time you listen to the next podcast, we will be able to talk about Little Big Planet 2 in full. That's when it goes up. Are you going to play Little Big Planet 2 this week? And
Yeah, a little bit. I think I told you that I'm going to LA for a
I
couple
know you
days,
are.
which really saddens me. But I will be back Sunday night, and I will be and Monday, and I'll be playing Little Big Planet 2. I'm hoping to beat
Yeah.
Dead Space tonight.
okay. Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna we have a half day today.
Yeah.
Because the boss says we can leave.
The half day on the week we're not even supposed to be at work.
Yeah, and I'm gonna finish Dead Space tonight. I have 3 chapters left or whatever, so I should be able to do it. I think.
Yeah. You can do that.
And then when I get back, I'm gonna play Little Big Planet, and of course more Need for Speed because I'm obsessed with that game.
Colin, I'm making a mandate that you play some Little Big Planet for next week's show, so you can talk just a little bit about it.
Yeah, I'll
You've done some co-op with me. Speaking of which, we should try to get that. We should try to do the co-op thing we were trying to do yesterday.
I think it seems
We
impossible.
need to draft Ing to be the 4th person.
All right, that's no problem. He
Yeah,
can do that.
we shouldn't have you switching controllers.
I still don't think that's the problem we have, but it's no big deal. Yeah, okay, we can do that. We can get somebody else in there.
I'm not sure it's the controller switching. That's the
I think
problem.
mostly it's Colin's fault.
It's just that one spot. We got to get it
Yeah.
to drop.
I'm trying. Yeah,
better,
like I
perfectly.
can't. Yeah, it's.
And crap,
it's
I don't
hard.
remember what level that was.
That's the hardest place to be throwing, though. I have the hardest job.
You have a tough.
You want to switch out? You can't take the pressure?
No, I can do it.
No, you're at the hot corner.
You going to the bullpen?
Jeremy wants a question for you, Hill.
Jeremy Dunham.
Jeremy wants a question. Jeremy has a question.
Has
No,
a
I don't
question.
think it's Dunham. He says Beyond. Hill, welcome to the PS3 Fold, good sir. My question is, since you're picking up the PS3 as your console of choice now, is there anything Microsoft can do to pull you back?
Ooh, that's a
Are
good
you just a
question.
fair weather fan? Is basically the question.
That's a really great question. Yeah, I just can't imagine like the games that they would announce that are coming out next year that would make me switch over.
Fable 4.
Yeah, I didn't like Fable 3.
Crackdown
so-
3.
Yeah, I didn't like Crackdown 2. I mean, the two games that I will play for sure, like I'm gonna play Gears of War and I'm gonna play Forza, but honestly, like I'm just not that. I'm not interested in playing games without a controller. So Kinect, like as a novelty, is cool. Like I like having it because people can come over and like Dance Central, they get right away, and it's good for kids and all this stuff. But it doesn't interest me. Like I don't really want to pursue that any further. And I will say this, like, how serious am I? I'm like 400 points away from having 50,000 achievement points. That's like a fairly nice marker, to have. But I just stopped. Didn't matter to me.
You walked away. You hung it all up.
Well, I'll get it again when the next Halo game comes out or whatever. But I mean, it's like
You're Ricky Williams. You just
Yeah.
don't want to do it anymore.
just
You
I
go
just want
smoke pot and walk around barefoot.
yeah,
Play in Canada for a little bit.
yeah.
He's back though now, isn't he?
I think so. But he's
No. I've committed myself, Greg.
Good. That's what I want to hear, and I'm sure that's what Jeremy wanted to hear as well.
Shadow Complex 2 though would certainly get me to play.
Oh.
That'll be cross-platform.
Who says that Microsoft's going to publish that? So
Yeah. Colin,
Yes.
got a question for you now from Ryan. Not Ryan Clements, probably.
Oh,
He had a quick question. He says,
okay.
"What's your problem with the Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers?"
What's my problem with the Steelers? What's my problem with every team in the AFC is not the Jets? That's the answer to that question. I hate everyone in the AFC. That's not the Jets.
All right. Well, that was pretty easy.
He's not. I mean, the Steelers are in the AFC North, and I understand, that the Jets don't even play them every year. But first of all, if he's a Steelers fan, he'll remember the 2004 divisional game between the Steelers and the Jets, in which the Jets missed like 4 field goals and they would have won the game, but they missed like every field goal, including 2 in overtime. So I never forgot about that game. They would have went to the championship game that year. And also, I want every team in the AFC to lose as many games as possible, except for the Jets. So when the Steelers were playing the Panthers last week, I obviously wanted them to lose.
But you like the Patriots.
Oh, I love the Patriots. They're my favorite team. I don't think I used to hate the Red Sox more than any other team in the world, but now that the Red Sox have kind of fallen off and like my love of the Yankees has kind of waned. I think we talked about this. I'm kind of bored with baseball. Baseball. I love baseball.
You and I are on the same wavelength with baseball.
Like it's just like I love baseball. I grew up like a huge Yankee fan. My family's crazy about the Yankees. It's just kind of boring now. But like now I really hate the Patriots more than anything, especially because Tom Brady said verbatim, quote, "I hate the Jets this year."
Good for him.
So
Good for him.
yeah. So that's we'll see. We'll see who's hate. The Jets are probably going to play the Chiefs in the playoffs first round, so yeah. I'm super comfortable with that game.
I'm gonna warn you again in public now, Colin. Don't sleep on the Chiefs at home, dude. That's not gonna be an easy game for you guys, especially the way you've been playing and the way they've been playing. I would not be comfortable.
I'd rather play them than the Colts. So,
I think the Colts look terrible this year.
Really, I don't want to play the Colts.
I'd rather play the Colts.
Peyton Manning's too dangerous. Matt Castle, I'm not afraid of him.
Just pretend like you're the Chargers. He throws like 5 interceptions every time he plays the Chargers.
I don't know. I mean, you remember last year. We watched the games last year. I mean, I'm not saying the Jets had.
Hey, I remember watching the Jets-Chargers game with you last year. I'll never forget it.
Yep, it was a very touching
That's why
moment.
You've never been invited over to my house again.
But first of all, I didn't come in even remotely expecting that the Jets were going to win that game.
You were very polite about it.
I tried to be, and I was, I didn't.
I mean, you did beat your girlfriend.
Yeah, I almost punched her.
Not on purpose.
Not almost. I believe you did actually accidentally sock her.
Yeah, because I was like, I got up, I was like, yeah, like when they scored a touchdown, and, like my fist went out, and I
clock share.
might have brazed her a little bit.
Because it's like we have one of those couches where really it's for 3 people, but when you have 4 people over, you kind of make it work. So Colin was very close up to Cheryl. So.
Yeah. But they played the Bengals the first round. I thought the Bengals were way overrated. I wasn't worried about them. But when we got to especially because we beat them 37-0 in the last game of the season last year. But when we got to San Diego, I was like, well, this is the end of the road, and this was fun. And Sanchez,
at San Diego.
Yeah, at San Diego. Sanchez got some experience or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Didn't expect.
They were 13-3.
Yeah, and Kading missed a kick, right? Was that what happened?
Yes, Kading missed.
And there was an interception.
Multiple kicks.
Yeah. So I know how that feels, and that's going to happen. We have Nick Folk. He's one of the worst kickers in the league. So I totally feel you on that one. But back to the point, the Steelers suck. I hope they lose in the playoffs.
That's been your NFL minute.
Here.
I love it. I love when Colin talks about stuff he's passionate about. Speaking of stuff we're passionate about, DC Universe Online's coming, and I'm way too fucking excited. Taking days off work. I've already told Hillary I'm ready to go. We have some DC Universe Online questions here. Joe writes in. He's in the DC Universe Online beta. He's around level 17. I've been having fun with it, experiencing the DC Universe, but I'm beginning to get bored. It's just mission after mission and no story development, no arch nemesis, no family member dying, no plot points for my character. Will there be more in the final release? We can't speak to the final release. Obviously, we don't have it. We're not playing through it. We're in the beta like yourself, but I'd imagine that's how your arch nemesis is Brainiac. The whole thing you're doing here is getting powerful enough to stop Brainiac. That's going to be the end game. But MMOs in general, I'm not super familiar with them. Are they often story-based? Like big story plot points turning and stuff?
Pretty sure MMOs are just sort of like quest to quest to quest to quest.
I watch Steimer play that WoW a lot, and it's just a bunch of stupid names and purple people running around. I don't.
No, like when I talk to Anthony about WoW, like he will basically he talks about like he treats it like a role-playing game where like his guild like actually acts a certain way
And that's
to people
cool.
and stuff, and that's cool.
But that's a game that he's making for himself.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's what you're gonna put into it is
Totally.
really what it's gonna be.
It's like Dragon.
So for example, when Greg and I are playing our two characters as a duo, like we will make the game how we want it to be.
Totally. Heads up to a lot of questions about this. There will be a Beyond Guild or superhero and then a supervillain federation or whatever to play in. I would ask you to let me get to the point where I can make those. Hopefully, I'll get it Tuesday night or whatever. Tuesday, run out, play it, get one set up for superheroes, then eventually get to one for supervillains. But there will be a Beyond Guild. We'll get everybody in it once we get the nuts and bolts of how all that works. And the same thing for friend requests. A lot of people have been asking me if I'll be kicking people off to get more people on for DC Universe. If need be, yes, I will. I will be cleaning house on people I don't know to get DC Universe.
Yeah, I have to
players
win about that as well.
Yeah. But I don't know how all
This is how my friends list works right now. You're a Marvel pinball player. You're a Need for Speed player. You're fairly safe right now. But if you don't play either of those games, that's who I'm searching for right now when I have to kick somebody out. Like that's how it goes.
Well played. Kid Quick has another DC Universe only question. He says, first time writing in, blah, blah, blah. He's curious about the $200 lifetime subscription fee that devs are talking about. Real quick, Kid Quick 617. If you didn't know, this lifetime, the $200 to be subscribed to DC Universe forever, basically, not have to pay a monthly fee, is PC only at the moment. There's no announcement for a PS3 version of that. But his question still stands. He's asking, basically, what does this mean? Is this developers saying they have no confidence in it going on longer than that? WoW has been going on for 5 years, blah, 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 blah. I don't read it that way. I mean, it's definitely an uphill battle for them to get people to play this MMO and be invested in it. But you figure this is a way for them to try to get you engaged and get a hardcore fan base going early so that they can continue to go on for a while. That's how I see it. Hil, you got anything else?
Sounds about right. I'd say I mostly would be upset if there's never a PlayStation Plus discount for the subscription.
Oh, yeah.
Monthly.
That'd be cool.
I get it having to pay full for a lifetime, but to me it's like if I have PlayStation Plus, I expect to get a couple dollars off of an MMO subscription.
That'd be nice.
From
That'd be really
from
nice.
a Sony game.
Totally, yeah. Well, Sony Online.
Sony Online.
Same thing.
Still.
I know, but there is a difference. Different people you have to work with.
Sure.
Just let you know. Heads up. So
At the end of the day, Godzilla runs that company no matter what.
That's
So.
the company.
Yeah, I imagine Godzilla sits in a business suit in Tokyo somewhere making all the Sony decisions. I expect somebody out there has some artwork of this.
Yes, please do. Have him at the Kevin Butler desk. Yeah, go ahead and put that and get him saying Beyond, and it'll get on the Podcast Beyond wall.
Picture
Beyond at IGN.com.
Godzilla looking at the PSP2 prototype at his desk with the beautiful
I'm
skyline
curious
in the
what kind of alcoholic drink he has, like sort of sitting at always a glass in a
Whiskey, it's got to be whiskey.
yeah, of course.
Our final one here, but it's kind of general. It's from Alan. He says, "Hey guys, do you know if there will be prepaid subscription cards for DC Universe Online? There already are, kind of. You don't really need to wait for them to print one with Superman on it. Just go buy a prepaid PSN card. It's $15 a month. After your first month, you get the first month free when you buy the game. You could just buy a PSN card and get going from there. This answer also applies to Manuel's question. He is upset with what the PSP2 is talking about doing. I'm worried that the fact that PSP2 is going all digital means, and first off, that's a rumor. Who the hell knows if that actually happened? Going all digital means that teenagers and younger people will have to use a credit card to buy games for their PSP, which they do not own. He does not own a credit card. It means, as a 17-year-old guy, I do not like the fact that I'll have to ask my parents to buy me a video game.
Point cards.
You're still a kid.
Point card.
First off, yeah. And then there are PSN
Or use your
cards.
debit card. I mean,
Hey.
don't you have a bank account?
I think, quite honestly, I think you're a fool if you keep your credit card account on, logged in on PSN. Like, no offense, but I don't know how secure that would be. So
Yeah.
I've never put my credit card on PlayStation. I just go to GameStop and buy point cards.
Oh, neat.
Enter them in there.
Interesting.
I think my credit card.
I don't have a credit card on file on Xbox Live either because I just think I doubt those.
You're
systems
asking
are
for
that
trouble.
secure.
Something, and we've seen that happen before. Like for Xbox, I remember when Tuttle got his account taken for Halo something or other, and Dan Shu happened to him too.
I don't know. Like I have my credit card saved, I think, on PSN, but you have to put my password in to even access the store. So that's kind of.
That's true. Even if your account was compromised, well, no.
I don't. In other words, when I go on PlayStation, like when I turn my PlayStation on, I have to pick my keyboard up, sign in, put my password in, and stuff like
I
that.
see what you're saying.
So it
yeah, but
doesn't.
that's not how data actually works. So it's like once you put in your credit card in there, it is being stored in a database by Sony. It doesn't matter that you from your system. I have to enter in a password or whatever, but there's still a database, like an Oracle database or whatever, of all these credit cards, and somebody can. I mean, that it has nothing to do with gaming. It's that people are constantly trying to steal people's credit cards that are in these databases, and it's the fewer instances that your credit cards appear in on that, anywhere, like the safer you are.
Basically,
no,
the
I
world's
hear
a
that.
scary place, and you're gonna get fucked. So just get ready for it.
I was just more
That's
thinking about.
Merry Christmas.
That's Greg Miller's pro tip for any kids listening.
I was just thinking more of like, I mean, because like that data is everywhere. I mean, it's like,
Where are we going for lunch?
I don't know.
Yeah, we need to start thinking about that.
That's a
don't
good
we?
question. But like, I don't want my system to get stolen and then they can just sign in automatically and then just buy a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I understand that.
So that's where I was.
But see, now there you're talking about something completely different in a way. Because if you had automatic login, and so they could just steal your system, sign in as you talk to me on PSN. Well, the thing would be though that they wouldn't have access to your accounts. That you would go to buy something and it would say, "Give me your password," and you'd say, "I don't know the password. I just stole this thing and I'm automatically getting logged in."
Is that one of the check marks?
Recover my password. I don't know. I just stole this thing. I don't know. All right, Colin.
yes.
Alex D writes in. Just got a PS3. Do I need to play the first Resistance to understand the second one? Trophies. That's what's stopping them.
Yeah. Fall Man doesn't have trophies. I would play the first Resistance before you play the
Really?
second Resistance. Yeah. I mean, there's continuity. I mean, but you could also just play Resistance 2 and read the Resistance wiki or whatever and read the story, which is pretty compelling, if I do say so myself.
Sam writes in. Would you rather have Mass Effect 3 or Elder Scrolls 5? For me, it's Elder Scrolls 5 all the way.
You'd rather have Elder Scrolls 5?
That's what he said. Sorry, that's still Sam.
Oh,
Now
okay.
back to Greg. I say Mass Effect 3. I don't want Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. Oh, I want both.
Yeah, I want them both. But
100%. It's not like there was a great story in Oblivion that I'm like, oh man, I gotta continue that.
happen next?
Colin?
I mean, I'm so stoked about ME3. So I love. Speaking of story, man, I don't think there's really any game with a better story than Mass Effect. It's just so well fleshed out. Like, I just love going to planets now and playing Mass Effect 2 on PS3. You go back to, and I did all of this already, but I'm doing it again. Like, just going to the planets, not even mining them, but just reading the nerdy shit that they make up about these planets. Where it's got like, well, this planet's this dense, and there are
That's one of the things that I loved about the first Mass Effect when they started off with the what's the audio guide that they had to the universe called the Codex.
Right. Yeah.
And it was
read
really
you
cool
everything.
because it was just like you could play through Mass Effect 1 and that's fine, but like if you found all the entries and listened to it, like you just basically got their entire story bible of the universe, and then they just added to that with more stuff in Mass Effect 2.
It's so cool.
It's really cool just how rich and diverse they made that.
Yeah, I'm super impressed. Like it's almost it's like I'm floored about how well even like the notion of the Mass Effect is really cool. You could tell like nerdy science dudes made that up because like you can't travel past the speed of light if you have any mass.
That's why if you own an Xbox, you play Mass Effect 2 and then go play Fable 3 and then you'll just cry. Because it's like the difference. It's like here's how you tell a great story, and then here's how you ruin a story with fart jokes and constant pop-up interruptions. I hate that game.
It's just it's cool. When you think about like Star Wars or Star Trek, where they warp speed and like faster than light travel or Battlestar Galactica.
Well,
or
Star
whatever.
Trek took itself very, very seriously, even in the '60s. The original TV series always wanted to be scientifically possible.
Yeah, but it's like it's really like I was always just impressed with like when you're reading about the Mass Effect and stuff like even though like you have to use element 0 to get your mass down to 0 and stuff like that. But that's cool because then if your mass is 0, then technically you could travel faster than the speed of light. So like that's cool that it's that nerdy that like they don't just say like faster than in Battlestar Galactica it's like use the FTL drive and then you're like going faster than light. But like that's not really
Spoilers.
possible. You know what I mean? It's just I really think that BioWare their acute attention to detail is what makes Mass Effect so good. Some people have been talking about on Twitter like Mass Effect sucks or Mass Effect's not that good. Why is it so
suck.
good? Like you're out of your mind if you think Mass Effect sucks. You're out of your mind. Even if you don't like that kind of gameplay, like just looking at the minutia of the game.
I still think
It's
that
so cool.
the one thing where that game fails or struggles is having like really interesting sort of designs for the areas. Like 1 was really bad at this, but it's like I don't know. Whenever you go to like the Citadel, and it's like I don't really imagine like the future is not really going to be a bunch of like these sort of plain, boring silver corridors everywhere. It's like people like don't exist like that. Everyone would go insane like if you lived in a place like the Citadel that was like perfectly clean, white, like these little like angular like walls that like
Right.
no, you would never have that. It's like there's no persona to some of those areas. It was a real big problem in the first one. They tried to like dirty it up a little bit for the second one, but I still think they need work. I mean, Halo runs into the same problem too, where it's like that's why Reach was good because it's like just like put it on a planet and like have it have some life to it. Whereas like most of the Halo games are like, here's these antiseptic corridors, boring.
Right.
Everyone
you're
would go
right.
insane on a ship that looked like this.
Yeah, everything's very sterile. I agree.
That's why I like Battlestar Galactica, which I like. I'm on middle of season 2. Is that it's like they have a ship that actually feels like a place you would live in, and
Right.
not like a place that's bullshit.
I love Battlestar.
Most sci-fi, just like the design style. Is
Yeah, just a flat silver bed.
Yeah.
And you're ready to go.
Dumb.
All right. Wrapping up this week, we have another entry in the
Oh, it's
podcast
already
beyond
over?
Orange Juice Diary.
Oh, Jesus
People
Christ.
remember, of course, Colin drinks drinks 2.5 liters of orange juice every week. And one day he stopped and got sick. And somebody wrote in and said, you can't stop now because your vitamin C is too high. It'll give you scurvy as soon as you stop and you'll die. And then a nutritionist wrote in and said, that's bullshit. Don't worry. You'll be all right. And I'm a nutritionist. You can trust me. Or not a nutritionist. They were what were they? They were a food science major. Now we have another entry in the journal here of the ever-expanding story of whether Colin should keep drinking orange juice, not drink orange juice, drink less orange juice. Here we go. Hey, this is Moncat, the super awesome and sexy Monkey King. Just wanted to let you know what is happening with the orange juice, since I do work in the health foods industry. You can get diabetes from orange juice, absolutely, but you could also get it from tomatoes if you ate enough of them. Sugar is sugar. If you become immune, bad things happen. That said, actual fruit oranges are more complex and better than juice. Also, vitamin C is water soluble.
I mean, I'm gonna stop this guy right now. Diabetes is not becoming immune to sugar.
According to the Moncat, the super awesome and sexy Monkey King.
I'm immune to sugar. What does that mean?
He's in the health foods industry,
I'm sure
Hillary,
he is.
and he's the sexy Monkey King.
I'm sure he is.
Also, vitamin C is water soluble. If you drink too much every day, you'll get diarrhea, but that's it. You won't get scurvy if you reduce your intake a bit. Love you, Moncat.
Yeah, I don't really know. I didn't know that's what diabetes was.
The
Now I know.
debate continues on what exactly is happening. Thank you, Moncat, the super sexy Monkey King.
Sir, you're
Super awesome.
You're dying. The only thing we can do is give you a shot of sugar. It won't work. I have
immune.
diabetes. I'm immune.
All right. Wrapping up, we have a birthday shout out. Remember, I said I will not do these all the time.
Yeah.
These are special occasions. This one comes from John Q. John Q, of course, the host of Reviews on Q, a podcast I've appeared on several times, and a lovely young man I met out at PAX. I was wondering if you could possibly get a birthday shout out for my daughter. She's going to be 1 on the 1st, and this would be an awesome way to start the year off on a good note. My birthday just passed on December 28th. He's fishing for a birthday, too. He won't get it. So it's too late for me. Anyway, take care and keep up all the great work. Thanks for what you're doing. John, you forgot your daughter's name, but John Q's daughter.
Happy birthday, you.
Happy birthday, kid.
It's all downhill from here for her.
Enjoy
it's pretty much.
being a girl and 1-year-old.
I think you're making a terrible mistake because if you think about it, she's gonna look back on her life and be like, "Well, I pretty much
peaked when I was
1."
I was mentioned not by name on Podcast Beyond.
Then what's gonna happen if her dad actually is like a big alcoholic? He can never remember her name.
We know John. He's not a big alcoholic.
It's like, she's 20 or whatever. She hates him. She's like, you can't remember my name. I have this podcast to prove it.
Hit of the week. We got one. We have 2 things here. As everybody knows, I love my Missouri Tigers, and we'll.
Oh, they stunk up the joint, didn't they?
I know. They shit the bed a couple Tuesday night there against Iowa in the Insight Bowl. As anybody knows, when Mizzou does something, I will bet people about it, and I do it all the time. I lost this one on 2 accounts. Number 1 for PSN hit, White_Crow05. This is PSN name, White_Crow05. He beat me. He said I would win. I said they win it. His prize is being PSN hit of the week.
PSN hit of the week.
And then Brian Albert bet me a box of Portillo's hot dogs that Iowa would beat Mizzou. So I need to send him Portillo's hot dogs now, which I will do promptly. That's it.
That's it?
That's the show.
All right.
Follow us.
Been a good year.
Send us beyond@ign.com
Wait,
any of your questions
I think
and stuff.
Before we end.
I'm doing the outro, the traditional thing here where we do our Twitters and then we banter a little bit. We're still bantering ahead.
Okay.
Remember, beyond@ign.com for your questions or Mizzou bets. Follow us at IGN on Twitter. There's also a Facebook page for IGN. I'm Game Over Greggy on Twitter and Facebook. Colin is No Taxation on Twitter. Colin already on Facebook, but we don't use Facebook anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hillary Goldstein on Twitter. There you go. Now what do you got to say?
I was going to say, we're heading into the new year. I feel like we should make New Year's resolutions for gaming.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a New Year's resolution that you want to make, Greg? Something you do that you're not going to do anymore?
Next week we'll do our predictions piece.
Mm-hmm.
But New Year's resolutions for gaming, huh? I'm tempted to just renew my old New Year's resolution.
There's no way. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen this year. Go ahead.
All right. The New Year's resolution for 2011 is to continue to beat Colin Moriarty at trophies.
All right. I guess my New Year's resolution then will be to beat Greg in trophies.
To finally overthrow
so
me.
we both can't win this one.
There you go.
Unless
There has to be a declared winner. I like
exactly.
that.
What if you guys tie?
That's a good point.
We're both level 20, 12% by the end of
Oh
this.
my god,
I would love to be level 20.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm inching to level 17.
Dude, there are
right now.
dudes on my list that are like
16,
24, 25, 26. It's like
We're level 16 right now.
yeah, it's like I don't know how the hell that happened.
What's yours? What do you got? What do you
I
have
already
for me?
made my resolution. I'm going to PS3.
Oh, okay. Well, you're living that, buddy. You're living that dream.
The dream.
All right. We're here every Thursday. We'll be back next week with Ryan Clintz. Maybe special guests. Who knows? You never know what's going to show up here. That'll be the LittleBigPlanet show, though. We'll
Predictions as well, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do predictions for what we think is going to happen in 2011. Until then, we're going to end on a song like we always do. This one comes from Alex. First off, Alex says, Beyond.
Beyond.
The song I offer you, fine gentlemen, is won by a band called Swear and Shake. I am co-president of their street team and was personally granted the right to send you one of their songs. I think you'll enjoy it. And Colin, 3/4 of the band are from good old Long Island. Center Moriches to be exact. Be sure to check out their site, swearandshake.com, and pick up their new EP on iTunes. The song is called Promise, and once again, it's by Swear and Shake. It's been a lovely year, everyone. Beyond!
Beyond. Long Island.
Trusting heart that I've just stitched up. Say what needs to be said, and keep in mind the day I bled all alone in your bed. I had stitched up. I inhale your exhale, you've no trouble sleeping. All quiet my weeping, not to wake you up. I inhale your exhale, pray these stitches hold. Promise they would hold, promise they would hold. See who you want to see, and make love to who you will. A dead woke trusting heart that won't stay stitched up. If I should stand my ground, you'll want what I won't give. The hands will move like they once did to take me in. I inhale your exhale, you've no trouble sleeping. All quiet my weeping, not to wake you up. I inhale your exhale, pray these stitches hold. Promise they would hold, promise they would hold.
Say what you need to say. You've got my everything. You've got my only heart.